how will you write it? Right side will write the function and we will store this function into one variable. Correct, right? Okay. So whenever we are writing our function expression in the right side, this function name is optional or mandatory? Optional. If you want to write it any, write it. Otherwise, it's a optional. Whenever you are not giving any name a function, okay. Here I am giving any function name or not? No, I am not giving any name. Okay. Such functions we'll call it as a anonymous functions. Okay, what functions? Anonymous one. Anonymous means there is no name. Okay, what is anonymous means? There is no name. If we anybody don't have any name, then it's called a anonymous. Okay, so a function without having any name, what function it is? A anonymous. Okay, so let us write it. If I want to create output, if I want to see output daily, how we are checking our output? We'll open our project and okay, and we are going to see here, right? Let me. Okay, so first, where we'll write our code, all code in the script. Okay. Suppose when you go for an interview, sometimes you will not be able to open this code. Okay. That is the reason there are some online websites are there for writing the JavaScript code. Okay. Okay. There are some online websites are there to write the JavaScript code. Okay. So we can go for it. There is a website called JSBin. Okay, so here you can go here. By default you can select whichever the tabs you want. Suppose I want to write the HTML code. Okay, so they are asking show a button in the left side of the screen, something like this. We know what is how to show it in the left side, right? You can go for a fixed or you can go for a absolute, right? Something like this. So you can click on this HTML and you can write a button here. Suppose I want to write a button and you can write a button code test and something like this button. Okay, so if you want to see the output, right side you can click this output tab. So here you can see the output, HTML output. Okay, so wherever you want to write some paragraph, something like this, everything you will be seeing in the right side. So this is dynamic, you don't need to reload or anything. Okay, so this is for HTML page. Suppose they do, most of the time they will not give any HTML task, they will give only JavaScript task. Okay, so in that case we don't want to open this HTML. Just again just select this one and select the JavaScript. You will be seeing JavaScript. Whenever I am writing any JavaScript code, I cannot see anything in the output, right? Where I need to see output? Console. So that is the reason I will write a console and I will close the output. Suppose if you are writing document.write, document.write. Now tell me which we have to open. I have to open the not the console. I have to open the output, not the console. Okay. Let us see example. Something. Let us clear. Okay. Hello. Why this button I already have it. Okay, that's the reason. Okay, let's clear. Hello is there. Okay, something like that. But we don't want to see anything in the output. Most of the time I want to see output in the console itself. Okay, so the advantage is here I can write directly here. Let a is equal to 10. Okay, let b is equal to 20. Let c is equal to a plus b, something like this. Is a simple example. Console dot log of c. Okay, suppose if you run it here, you can see the output here. Okay, so you no need to open your browser and reload it and open the developer tools console, everything. Okay, so whenever you want to practice something, you can open the this JS bin, and there are a lot of websites are there like this. Okay, and there is another website called Code Sandbox something. So whenever we go for a React programs, we will use this Code Sandbox. Okay, for now JSBin is more than sufficient, but if you want to do try something like this, you can go and select it, whichever the language they are going to. You can select whichever the language you want to do it. Okay, you want Angular, VJS, Angular, something, whichever the language you want to select it, you can select it and you can practice it. Okay, for now we don't want to go with this one. On React we'll go there. Okay, let us practice here itself. So this is a JSBin website. So whenever they're asking to execute any program, you can open this website and do it. Okay, that is a hint. Okay, so let's go and start with the next program. Okay, so suppose I'm going to write some simple thing here. Okay, so here do we have any name? Any name here, ma? Suppose parameter value is there. I will say parameter 1 plus parameter 2. Okay, so suppose if I want to call this one, I can write any name here, right? I will say add. So this is a function or function expression? Function expression, not a function. So now I want to call my function expression. I will say 10 comma 20. So what is the output? It is going to print it. What is the output? No output because I am not writing any console data log statement. Okay, so I need it is returning some value, right? So we want to store into one variable. How to store it? One, let x something. Okay, you can let x or result. Print the output console dot log of x. Okay, so click here and run it. So what is the output? We are getting it, right? Okay, so here the point is, are we having any name for this function? No. Okay, whenever there is no name for any function, such functions we'll call it as a anonymous functions. Okay, that is okay. Suppose sometimes what they want to do, here I will write a console.log statement. Okay, console.log hello something. Okay, so I will print the sum later. Okay, that's okay. Suppose this is a normal function, right? Okay, there is a function called self-invoking function. Okay, what function? Self-invoking function. Self means it will call itself, because this is a declaration or calling. This is only declaration. Okay, sometimes what they want is they want to write the declaration and they want to call there itself. They don't want to write a separate line. You understand what is the requirement? I don't want to call separately here. Suppose name is there, add. I don't want to call in the bottom, add 10 comma 20, something like this. Okay, they want to call here itself in the same line. Okay, such functions we will call it as a self-invoking functions. Okay, very simple. So whatever the function you are writing, just write a close bracket, and in the starting also write the this one. So entire function you write in a brackets, the first thing, and after that write like normal, just write like this. Okay, so here whenever you are going to execute, you are going to print hello only. I am not using this parameter 1 and parameter 2. Okay, such functions are calling what functions? Self-invoking functions. Very simple. First write a normal function. Example, write function add, okay, something add, and open bracket and a close bracket, console dot log of hello. Okay, now I want to make this as a self-invoking function. What I have to do? First step, I will write the bracket surrounding the function, first step. Okay, and then last invoking something like this. That's all. Okay, so such functions call we what we'll call it a self-invoking functions. Okay, so this is nothing but a okay. So let us go. This is a self-invoking functions. Okay, so the self-invoking functions again we will discuss in the last. Okay, whenever we are going to discuss about the closures, we are going to discuss about them. Okay, for now let's go for a next concept, self-invoking function. Okay, so next thing is a global scopes. What are the scopes available in the JavaScript? Okay, we want to discuss about the scopes. Okay, so let's go for a scopes first. Okay, here I am going to use this one, and let me increase the size. Okay, suppose here, suppose I want to write one variable. Okay, constant age is equal to 30. Okay, suppose where I am writing my variable, directly inside the script or any inside any function, directly inside the script file. Okay, suppose whichever the variables you are going to create it directly inside the script, those variables we will call it as a global variables. What variables are global variables? Okay, so we'll call it as a global scope also. Okay, what scope? Global scope. So when like whatever the variables I am writing directly outside, like inside the script, such variables will call it as a global. Okay, suppose I am writing a global here. I want to print this age. So this is a global variable or a local variable? Global variable. So I can use it in any function. Suppose I want to write another function. Okay, suppose let us remove this one. Okay, something. How many functions are I am having it here? Print age and print age too. Okay, if you are writing any variable in the outside directly, you can use that variable anywhere inside this file. Anywhere you can use it. Okay, so I can use like a inside this function I can use it, inside here I can use it, or directly here also I can use it, console.log of age. Okay, everybody understood, right? So variables which are directly writing outside, those variables are calling as a global variables. Okay, and second type is there local variables. Suppose name is there. Okay, suppose name is equal to some John, something like this. Okay, or I'll say something. Now I want to print this name. So where can I print it my name? I can print it only inside the functions. Okay, now let us go for a second type. Okay, variables which are declaring inside the function, which are declaring inside the functions, those variables will call it as a local variables. Okay, these variables are only where, from where to where, only within the function only. I cannot use it outside of the function. Okay, but I want to test it whether that is true or not. Let us test it. Suppose I want to print my age, console dot log of name something. Okay, name. Okay, let us write it. So what is the error I'm going to get it? I'm going to get it like a there is no age variable, something like this. Okay, let us reveal in the Explorer and print it. Okay, where we have to see our output console. Okay, what is the error? We are not getting any output at all. Okay, we are not getting any output because it is not at all available over there. Okay, so that there is no variable, but we are not getting any output. Okay, that is a fine. Let us see. So local variables means where we can access it only within the function. Global variables where can access the entire file. Everybody okay with this one, right? Okay. So in JavaScript mainly we have a three scopes. Okay. So one is a first global scope. First is a global scope. Second is a block scope. Okay. Third is a function scope. Okay. So let us go for one by one. So here global scope means like if we are writing any variable directly outside using let constant var any word, no problem. Okay, but if you are declaring outside such variables, we will call it as what variables are global variables. Okay, that is the first rule. Okay, and second thing is there is a very very important point is there, and second thing is I will go for a block scope. Okay, block something. Okay, whenever I am writing some open bracket and close bracket, this is called one block. Okay, so whenever I'm writing some logic like this, there is nothing before that if or something, nothing. I'm just writing open bracket and a close bracket. So if I am going to write something any variable here, these variables are called what variables? Not globals. This is nothing like local. Okay, I can say local variable. In the local also the type is like a blocked variable, block scope. Okay, suppose if I want to try to print this one outside, now I cannot print it outside. Age is not defined something like this because this variable is available only where inside the block. Suppose if I want to write it here. Okay, suppose let us go here and let me remove this one and we'll have a clarity. Okay, so the first one global is everyone clear, right? Second block level. Okay, so whenever I am writing this open bracket and close bracket, please understand here I am writing a let age is equal to 30 and where name is equal to Trinits. Now I want to print the name and age both outside. Okay, not inside it. Okay, okay, so I'm printing age. First age I will print secondary. I will print the name. Okay, as per the what is the output we are going to get it here. First I am declaring a let, I am declaring a where. Now what is the scope for let? Block scope. What is the scope? What is the scope for where? Global scope. Like global scope, right? Okay, if you are declaring any variables inside the block with the where, you can use it anywhere. Even though you are declaring inside the block, you can use it anywhere, no problem. Okay, so if you want, if that is a correct, we want to get our name as a output. Okay, that's correct, right? If that is a wrong, we cannot print any name here. So let us solve, let us test it here. What is the output? It is printing it Trinits. Okay, and what is the let scope? Block level scope. Block level scope means it is available only within the brackets. If you are trying to use it outside, it will not available at all. Correct, right? So suppose I will change this one to the where keyword. Okay, where. Now tell me what is the output we are going to get it? Trinits and 30. Now you understood, right? So this is the major difference between the let and where. Okay, suppose if I am going to declare with a constant, now tell me what is the behavior. So constant also what scope? Block scope only, not the global scope. So we are going to get an error only. Okay, second variable we are going to get an error. Okay, you understood, right? Even though you are not declaring outside, if you are going to declare inside any block and you are going to declare with the where keyword, then what is the scope? Global scope. Okay, automatically you can use it anywhere inside your function. Okay, don't think this is a local variable. We can use it only within this one. Okay, that is a point. Okay, and the next point is next scope is a function scope. What is the next scope? Function scope. Okay, so what are the blocks we can declare is, so after like tomorrow or day after tomorrow we are going to learn about the if for switch. This also will consider as a blocks only. Okay, even though you are going to write inside these blocks, you can use the same technique will applicable over there. Okay, so the next scope is a function scope. What do you know what is a function? Okay, let us write a function here. Okay, very interesting thing and very tricky question also for interviews. I want to write a one function. Okay, let us write a function. So whenever I'm writing a function, go and select the second one. I'll say add. Okay, that's fine. I want to declare one name here. Let a is equal to 10. Okay, where a is equal to 20. Okay, that's fine. Let where b. Okay, constant c is equal to 30. Okay, I want to print these variables outside my console dot log of a. Okay, don't show the answer. It is showing answer. Okay, console.log of b, console.log of c. Okay, something like this. So what is the output for this program if I am going to execute it? Okay, here for a, what is the answer? For a, what is the answer? It will print or error? Error. Okay, for b, 20. For c,
Not defined.
okay. So first reference error, then 20, then last again reference error. How many are with my answer? This is correct or not correct? I'm not going to call the
Function.
function. Now tell me. I'm not going to call the function. Tell me. Okay. Let us see. Okay, what is happening? Ah, what is the error? It is saying a uncaught reference error and a is not defined. Okay, that means like a is not there, right? That is okay. Okay. So now what about the second line, third line? Okay, it is not printing right. Okay, this is because whenever it is executing the first line, there is a error happened. Whenever error is happening, it will not go to the second line, third line. It will stop the program. Okay, if somebody is going outside, some accident happens, he will not reach the destination. He will be staying there only. Okay, so our program is like stopped here itself. Okay, if you want to handle this one, the concept is called exception handling. Okay, this exception handling will do it by after 3 or 4 days. So let us first I will comment out this line. Okay, so now if I'm going to run this program, what is the output? Now tell me. Like what is the b value? 20. Okay, what is the output? 20. Let's see. What is the output? C. Again I'm going to relate it.
Same.
Reference error, b is not defined. Okay, now that is okay. Okay, let's go for third one. What is the answer? Same only. Constant is 100% guarantee. There is a guarantee we can give it. Okay, this will not work at all. Now tell me, if I am going to declare inside a function, somebody is saying we did not call one, right? Let us call this function. Okay, how to call this function?
Yeah.
Add. Okay, okay. Now tell me what is the output? Even though you are calling it, what is the letter? Only function scope. It is not available outside. So we are going to get an error in the line number a. Something a is not defined. Okay, right? Okay, let us now tell me what is the output. Error or now we are calling the function and inside the function where declaration is there. Now tell me what is the output.
20.
20. Okay, how many are 20? What is that? Okay, error only, right? So even though you are calling or not calling, there is no change in the output. Okay, so the tricky answer here is whenever you are declaring anything inside the function, the scope of a variable is a function only. You declare with any keyword, I don't care at all. You go with the let constant var. Okay, no problem. Only function, the scope of the variable is a function scope. Everybody is clear that point? That declaration of keyword is doesn't matter. Okay, whether you are calling the call not calling is a secondary. Okay, so where you can use it to only those variables within the function, that scope is called a function scope. Okay, now there is a one important point will come. I will go and write like a d is equal to 40. Okay, so now I am writing a d is equal to 40, right? Earlier in the JavaScript, without using any keyword also we can declare a variable. Okay, but this is the worst code, we should not write at all. Don't use this syntax at all. Okay, but this is allowed only. There is no problem at all in this line. Okay, so suppose I want to show it in the outside. Let us write like outside. So what is the d value? D is equal to 40. I want to print the d value. First we will print the d value. Console dot log of d value. Okay. So don't think, sir, we did not write the any keyword, so no error, no error. Okay, it will work fine, perfectly work fine. Let's go and reload the file. So 40, that is okay, right? So same thing you can declare like this anywhere here. Okay, you no need to write any constant something, but it you should not never write like this nowadays. Okay, it will create lot of problems because people will not understand where this variable is created. They will not understand. Okay, this variable directly initializing here, they will not understand. That is the reason don't use this syntax at all. Okay, now I am declaring the same syntax where inside the function, and if I am going to call this function, now tell me what is the output for d, where I am declaring it inside the function. Now what is the error? We are going to get like a d is a not a referencer, something same error is coming, right? Okay, now I am going to call the function first and I am going to print it. Okay, let's reload the page. What is the output? 40. Okay, so the the tricky point here is if you are going to declare any variable without any constant let or any keyword, so automatically the scope of a variable is a global variable. Okay, what is the scope of a variable? Global variable. When it is a global variable, if you are not going to declare with any keyword, you should not use where, let, constant. No, you should not use any keyword. Then the scope of a variable is called a global. Okay, and then if I am not calling this one, I am getting an error, right? Then why it is getting an error? Because if you are not calling this function, program will not execute that line itself. Whenever program not executing that line, that browser will not understand there is a variable called d. That is the reason we are getting an error whenever we are not calling it. But if you are calling a function and if you are printing here, we are going to print the value. That is understood, right? Okay, so in the last interview 3 days back, they have given one tricky question like this. Okay, let a is equal to b is equal to 20. Okay, so here we can write like this. This is meaning is I am creating a variable let a. Okay, and here let is something like this I can write. If I want to write in 2 lines, I can write like this. Let a is equal to 20, b is equal to a, something like this. What is the a value here? 20. What is the b value here? 20. So I can use b value outside, right? I can use it or not use it. I can use it because I am not declaring with any keyword. That is the reason I can use it outside. And they have written these two statements. They are written like a let console.log a, console.log b, and what is the output. And we are saying a let is a constant. We should not use it outside, something like this. Or they are saying some program output. Okay, this is a wrong where we can use the b, but we cannot use a here. That is the same thing. If you want to do it in the same line like this 20, so here the output is you are going to declare a variable with a let. So let is a what scope? Function scope. But for b I am not writing any let keyword, or I am not writing any constant keyword. I am not writing any var keyword. Now tell me what is the scope of b? Global scope. So they are asking if I am correcting which line my program will be executing. So if I'm going to execute the same program, what is the output? I'm going to get an error. Correct, right? He is asking if I am commenting on which line the program will execute. If I'm going to comment out this line, I'm going to get an output, something like this. Okay, this is the answer. Everybody understood, right? Okay, the tricky is whether you are declaring with any var keyword or not. Okay, or like without any keyword or not. That is a tricky point. Okay, yes. So now how many scopes we have seen? Global scope, block scope, function scope. Inside the block, if you are declaring var, automatically that is a global variable. But inside the function, even though you are declaring with var, that is not a global scope. It is a local scope, function scope only. Okay. So these are the three important points we want to cover it. Okay. Now I will summarize it here. See. So global scope means any variable we are declaring directly outside of a function and outside of a blocks are called global variables. Okay, that's one. Suppose a variable is declared inside a block using a var keyword. Now that tell me what is that scope? Global var keyword inside the block var keyword. That scope is a global scope only. Suppose inside a function I am declaring a variable directly. So that is also global scope. Only these three scenarios: direct declaration, inside a block var declaration, or outside of all the blocks. That is nothing but a global scope. Okay, so don't don't try to use a var at all. Go and use a let or a constant only in the latest either React in Angular. Okay, forget about the var. Okay, so far that's clear, right? Next concept is a comments. Okay, comments. So do you know what is a comment here? Suppose whenever we want to explain what I'm going to write it here, then it's called a comment. Suppose I want to explain here like what I'm going to do like this, then I can say add the two numbers, something like this. Add the two numbers. Okay, so here I am explaining here like this. These comments will be ignored by the browser. It will not execute any output for this line. Okay, what then for whom purpose we are writing it? For other developer purpose. Whenever you are giving any program to other developer, they may not understand what is that 5 by 6 something we have seen, right? Nobody will understand. So for better you write one comment. Okay, I'm taking 5 months, something like this. I'm taking a 5 by 6, 5 by 12. What does that doesn't mean? I don't understand. Okay, so either you can explain it here. Okay, here 5 is a months something and 12 is a some months, some total month, something like this. Okay, you can explain to the other developers. Okay, whenever you are writing large number of code, go and write a comments. Or if you are writing any complex calculation, I am writing interest calculation, or I am writing like any something any complex logic, go and write the comments. Okay, so comments are mainly how many types? We have discussed comments, right? So there are like either single line, multi-line. Okay, so if I am writing a say one line, this is nothing but a single line comment. Suppose if I want to write a multiple lines, I can write a slash star star and enter. Okay, and you can write like this. So this is nothing but a multi-line comment, something like this here. Okay, so is multi-line comment start with the slash star star and end with the star and slash. You can write any number of lines here, ma. You can write any number of lines. Okay, so such comments we will call it as a multi-line. Okay, most of the time whenever in the project, real project, whenever we are working on, so what people will do, they will write comments like this. Whenever you are writing a function, they will write a comments like this on the function, on every function they will do like this. Okay, so this is a function, this adds the number, something like, at least they will write about one line, one or two lines about this function, something like this. Okay, so this is a like a good program will do. A normal program will not do this one. A good program will do that, I can say. Okay, but it is the best practice to write a comment for methods. That is okay. Okay, that is a comment. So we can write a either single line or a multi-line. Single line we can write with the double slashes. Multi-line we can start with the slash star star and star and slash. That is nothing but a something like this. Okay, so far we have done this one. Okay, this is normal things, nothing great. Okay, now we want to go with the some reactive programming. Okay, that means whenever I am going to open my page, I am going to click some button. I want to show one alert. Hey user, you are clicking me, be careful, something like this. Okay, and we want to work on the events in the HTML. Okay, so what is the event, ma? Can anybody tell what is an event? Suppose this is a website is there. Okay, some any website. Okay, most of the time I will go for this is the one, so I can show you demo. Okay, that's fine. Suppose there is a button here. If I am going to click it, what should happen? You tell me. It should close, right? Okay, so now what action I am doing there? Click action. Click action, right? So that is nothing but one event. Whenever a user is clicking on something, a user is performing on anything on the HTML, such things we'll call it as a events. Okay, very important events. Okay, so now I am going to click something like this, login. Okay, suppose here I am going to type something, ma. Here suppose A B C D something. Now what I am trying to do, tell me. This is nothing but I am performing one event. What event? A keyboard event. Suppose I am typing. So nothing but there is no typing event, that is called a keyboard event. I am pressing. Whenever you are pressing one key, that is nothing but a key press event. Okay. So whenever I'm holding my mouse, like whenever I'm holding my keyboard, that is nothing but a key down. Whenever I'm releasing it, that is a key up. Okay. So we are going to learn how to handle the events, because see here there is one form is there. Whenever I'm clicking it, what should happen? There is something should happen, right? So these things will work with the events only. That is the reason we have to learn the events. let's go for simple way and do it. Okay, so mainly events, event handling, I will work as like a two parts. So we have declare our function and all these things, right? So like the same thing, events also I will declare as a two parts. First let us try to do it. First we'll write one like one button, and whenever I am clicking a button I want to say hey, welcome, something like this. Okay, let's go and do it. Do you know how to write a button normally? Okay, we know how to write a button, right? Let us write a button. So where we should write our HTML code, inside the script or outside the script? Outside the script. Inside the script, what should write it? Only JavaScript code, not other code. Okay. I want to write a button. Tell me button. Okay. So I will say click me something. Okay. So this is a normal HTML code. Anybody will understand here. Okay. Now whenever I want to click here, I want to perform something. Okay. So that is nothing but a events. That is nothing but a events. Okay. So very important. So here what action I am doing it, a click event. Okay, that is the reason there are lot of events available in the HTML. So the event name is called on click. Okay, so in the HTML, before every event we will say on. Okay, on means we are going to handle something like this. Okay, on click, that is so on click is equal to here I can write any code here. Okay, if you want to write any inline JavaScript code, inline means what is inline? Whenever you are going to write your code directly on the tag itself, such code will call it as a inline. So let us write one inline. Okay, I am going to write one alert. Okay, welcome, something like this. Okay, so I will write it in the single quote. Okay, okay, so let us reload our page again. Okay, suppose click me. So if I'm going to click here, it is saying a welcome. Okay, now I will explain this code. Very please watch it carefully. So here what is the code I am written? I have written a button here. Okay, so inside the event, first there will be two parts. First part is a event name. Okay, event name, and the second part is like a what is the event you want to handle, how you want to handle, what logic you want to do it. Suppose there is a transfer amount is there. Okay, I want to transfer some amount to my employees. Okay, so there is a transfer. What is the logic I should write it inside the transfer? I should write a code to transfer the amount. Correct, right? So the right side will be logic, left side will be event name. Okay, so let's go and check it here. So the first part is nothing but a event name. What should happen, and like on what event I want to handle the event, that is nothing but a left side. Okay, let's go and do it. What is the event I'm handling here currently? On click. Okay, so this is the inline code, right? I don't want to write inline code. Don't write JavaScript inline code. Okay, always go for the internal or a external. Suppose I want to go for internal, then what should I do? I have to write the same code inside the script tag. Okay, so now we know how to write a function, right? Let us write a function first. Okay, function, I will say test function. Okay, or I will say alert me function, something like this, because I want to throw some alert, something like this. Okay, so this is a function. Everybody know what is a function, right? We are declaring function keyword and writing logic. Now whenever I'm clicking this button, I want to call this function. Okay, so copy this function name. Okay, till the here, and add it inside the double quotes. Okay, now this is nothing but this is my event, and whenever I'm clicking event, what is the action I want to do it? Alert. Okay, here I can write any number of lines, you write it code, no problem at all. That code will execute it. Okay, so let us go and check it here. Let us reload. See, hello world. Again I will click it. Hello world is coming, right? Okay, this is the logic. Okay, now tell me how many parts I am declaring here. First mainly two parts. One is a name of a event. That is, what is the name of a event here? On click. And what is the second part? Action. Like what should action? What should perform? You want to do? You want to write a single line? You want to write a multi-line? You want to write execute a function? You take a your own action. That's okay. Here I am going to write a. I am going to call a one test function. Something like this. Okay. So like this. So now I want to write another button, and I want to write another function. Tell me how to write it first. Okay, button. I will say something sample. Okay, sample. That's fine. Okay, this time I want to print output to the console. I want to print output to the console. Tell me what I have to do. Again, I will say on click. Okay, on click is equal to what I should write a function, right? First write, let us write a function, something like this. I will remove here console dot console dot log of Okay, I will say hello world, something like this. Okay, so now what is the method I should write it here? Whatever my function name, I should write it here. So my alert me to this is my function name. Okay, so sometimes I did not like I don't want to write the brackets. Let us see what will happen. Okay, let us reload. Is there any output is coming ma? No output. Okay, if you are not going to write these brackets, your function will not execute. Your function not executing means you will not get any output. Okay, so that is the reason. Now tell me whether these brackets are required or optional. You have to add it here. Okay, let us see. Hello world, something like, okay sir, but I don't want to see output here. I want to see my output in the bottom. So what is the line I should change it here? Tell me. Instead of a console.log, I can say document.write. Okay, document.write. So let us go and check it here. Uh, Now, what is the output? We are going to get it document.write. Okay, if you see the problem, whenever I am seeing a document.write, what is happening? Whatever my previous page is there, everything has removed and only it is printing that line. Suppose you have very login form, very big form, and you are writing document.write is equal to my output comes. Then what will happen? Your entire login form will go. Only that output line will come. That is the reason don't use the document.write. It will erase the previous content. Okay, so we don't want to see such things. That is the reason. Or whenever you want to write some debug statements, go for the console.log, something like. Okay, now everybody understood, right? Something like. Then what are the events available like this? Suppose I want to handle the double click. Okay, suppose I want to handle the double click. Now one click only I'm doing it, right? I want to handle the double click. I don't want to work on the single click. Okay, something like this. Then I can go here and there is a DBL click. Okay, DBL, or simply write like a on click something. Okay, here itself we can see on. Here you can see here you can see what are the all events on about on blur. Okay, on blur means suppose there is input form is there, input like input box is there, you are clicking outside. Whenever you are clicking outside, that means it will lose the focus. So that is nothing but a on blur. Let us see on the blur also. First we will go for on double click. So what is the event name? On DBL click something. Now I want to handle it. Let us reload the page. Okay, I will click here. Is there any action here I will click one time, no action. Another time, no action. You have to double click fast, then only output will come. Suppose I want to write a triple click, there is no such event. Okay, only we have a click and double click only. Not if you want to write it any number of clicks, we have to write our own code. We can write it. Okay, we can write the code to identify whether he is a triple click for something. We can write the code, that is okay. But we want to learn first normal events. That is okay, right? A click event. Suppose I don't want to click event. Whenever I am hovering on it, I want to see my output in the console. Okay, whenever I'm hovering it, I want to see output in the console. Okay, so then I can go for a, so there is no click event on mouse. There is a event called on mouse over. Okay, what is the event? On mouse over. Okay, so see all the event names in the small only. Some people will say on M capital O capital, your event will not work out. Okay, that is the reason. Let's go see here. See here, whenever I'm hovering it, console output is coming. Third time, fourth time, something like this. So mouse hover means whenever your cursor is on top of a element, that is nothing but a mouse over. Okay. Now everybody know what is the event, right? I will ask you one important tricky question. Let us see. Okay. So I'm going to write one div. Okay. I want to see how many people will answer this question. Button is there. Okay. So now I'm going to write like a click me. Okay, something like this. Okay, and now I want to handle the event both. I want to write on click event. Tell me on click is equal to, I will say alert div something. So this is my method name. Okay, so here I'll say on click is equal to what is this one? Alert btn, something like this. Okay, now how many methods I should write it? Tell me. Two methods. Okay, where should I write it? In the top or bottom? Anywhere we can write it in the script tag. That's fine. Okay, script. Now tell me. I'm going to write like this. So inside this, what I have written, but div clicked, and inside here, what I have clicked, button clicked. Okay, very important. I'm going to save it. This is a very most toughest interview question for the people. I am going to click on the, let us reload. Okay, if I am going to click here, what is the output it is going to print it? Suppose I want to see this div is there, right? I want to see background color, ma. If you want to style anything, tell me how to do it style, ma. I can use a head section. Inside the head section, style element. Style element I want to write like a div is equal to background color. So I don't want to use this width and height. Let us remove this one. Okay. So let us see the very important question. Okay. Okay. Suppose if I am going to click on the button, what is the output we are going to get it? Which method is going to execute? So there are two outputs is there. Okay. So okay, we'll come for both also. There are two, button click is there, div click is there. Which one it is going to come? Both will execute. If you are going to call one method, it will execute two methods. That's what you are saying, right? One click, two methods. How many methods we are calling inside the this one? Two methods or one method? Only one method, right? Now what is the output? Okay, this is an interview question. Only one or two? Two. How many are two? Only one guy. How many are one? Remaining, right? Okay. So let us see output. I am going to click here. Okay. I'm going to click here. What is the output? Button clicked. Okay. Don't worry. I am going to click OK. What is the next one? I am clicked only one only, not two. What is the, how many outputs you are getting it? One or two? Two methods are calling, right? Then what is the problem here? Okay. Okay. So here again, see in the red space, I'm going to click here. Okay. Now how many output I'm going to get it? This is entire div, right? I have given a click event for entire div. You can give it no problem. And now what is the output? Only div. But whenever I'm clicking button, I'm getting two outputs. Then why? Okay. Okay. So I will let me add some padding here so that you will understand. Padding. Okay, something like here. Okay, suppose see here, ma, this red is a entire div, this is a button. Okay, so there is a concept called event bubbling or event propagation. Okay, so isn't the concept. Okay, this is called event propagation or a event bubbling. Okay, most important interview question, and they will directly not ask the what is event bubbling. They are going to write like this. I am having a button. I have seen this question in 3 or 4 interviews. That is the reason I am explaining now. Okay, so whenever you are going to click here, what will happen is by default HTML, what it will do, it will handle this event here, ma. Okay, so it is going to handle this event. I have written a click event or not? Yes, I have written a click. That click event will execute. Okay, and immediately what it will do, who is parent for this button? Who is the parent for this button? If you see who is the parent, I'm going to see. Who is the parent? Button. This after the button, who is the parent? Div. So the same event it will say, hey parent, somebody is clicked on me. So you also take care something like this. And it will go, it will propagate to next parent. Okay. Suppose if I have any div for another div, suppose if I am going to have like a another div. So now what will happen? This div also will propagate this action to the parent. That also will propagate to its parent. It is calling event bubbling. Okay, what is this process called? Event bubbling. Suppose now I am going to store like this. Now how many alerts I am going to get it? Tell me. Now first I am having one div, next I am having another div, and inside I am having a button. If I am going to click this button, how many outputs I am going to get it? 3 or 2? Okay, please understand. It will propagate to parent, but the parent is not writing any click event. See, the outer parent is writing any click event or not? No, I am not writing any click event. The event will go to parent, but parent is okay, go. I don't care about it. Okay, it is not writing any listener for the click event. Now you understood, right? The event will go to the parent, but parent is not listening it. Okay, so but still the case is same. Okay, this process is called event propagation or event bubbling. Everybody understood, right? Now I don't want to, already I am handling inside the button, right? I don't want to propagate to my parent. A parent, you don't want to write it again. I already handle it. I will handle it. Okay, if you watch the movie, right, I will handle myself. I don't want to take care to my father. Okay, I will handle now. Okay, so now I want to tell here. Okay, then you can write like a event here. Okay, event here. Okay, in the bracket I am writing a event. So go to your method, like where is the button event ma? Here, right? You can write like a event. There is a one parameter. This is just parameter. Everybody know how to write a parameter, right? Parameter. So here you can write like a event dot stop propagation. So what is the method name? Event data stop propagation. Don't tell to my father. I will handle here itself. Okay. And now this is called. Let me reload it here. Okay. If I am going to click it here, how many times alert will come now? Tell me. One or two. Okay. Okay, one, only one time. Now you understood, right? Okay. Now why this time no two alerts? They will ask, how will you stop the event propagation? Like they will directly not say propagation. How will you stop the event bubbling? How will you fix that issue? What is the solution for this one? The solution is the event data stop propagation. Okay, simple. You take somebody, what it will do now? They will not write this event in the bracket, but they will directly write the event dot stop propagation. You are going to get an error only as per the JavaScript data. There is no variable in your JavaScript program. Then what is the thing? You are going to get a error. So please write one variable in the parameters and start using the parameters, something like this. Okay. Now everybody okay, right? So now again another question. I have stopped the event propagation in the lower level. I am going to reload my page. If I am going to click on red, I am going to get an output or not? Okay. Okay. Let us reload the page. Okay. Button click. Okay, see here. I'm going to click here. Div is coming around. Okay, so only two times will not come, but whenever you are handling directly on the parent, right, still your one time will be coming here. Okay, everybody okay, okay, this one, right? So this process is called what process, ma? Event bubbling or a event propagation. Okay, I have written some content here. You can go through here. Okay, this is the event propagation, something like this. Okay, let us go for some important questions. So this is the most important question. Now I want to write a one input box, something input box. Okay, let me stop recording.